All right, are we ready?
I believe we are as good as we're going to get.
All right, perfect. Awesome. Hey everyone, Sly47 here. I am joined today by Alister and Matt out of Rage. How are you two doing today?
Pretty good.
Good. Awesome. We are here for the Tier 10 Cruiser Tier Maker for 2023. If you haven't or didn't decide to just skip for it because you just want to watch the video and you haven't seen the rankings video explained, I'm going to give a little TLDR video of this. So we have our 5 ranks here. We have meta. These are the best of the best. They define the freaking cruisers area in this video specifically. Of course, it applies to different videos, but meta are the best of the best. They are just phenomenal. Sometimes they might even push other meta ships out just because they're that good. They're not OP, they're just that darn good. There's no OP ships, I don't think, right now. I don't think you guys, right? I don't think there no OP cruisers.
I would say there's 1 or 2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a difference of opinion. We're starting off well. Next up we have is competitive. These are ships that are just good. They have probably a few disadvantages in comparison to the meta, but are still very well usable within the current overall state of the game of the Warships Blitz in 2023. Next up is niche. A lot of people will say, oh my god, this is a bad category or something. No, this is actually a good category. This is just a ship. They have a purpose. They do it well. Sometimes that purpose is there. Sometimes it's not. That's just how it works. And hey, they're not bad ships. It's just sometimes they won't be as good. Other times they might even be meta. So they play the game out here. Playable. Next one, these are just good ships. They're okay. They might need a little buff here and there, but overall they hold up. Just unfortunately, there are meta or more competitive ships that will just absolutely annihilate them in comparison when you put player skill at even ranks there. Then the last is need fixing. I think there's only like 1 or 2 ships here, but these are ships just don't save yourself some trouble here. All right, outside of that, anything else you guys want to add before we get moving on this?
There's gonna be a lot of arguing.
Maybe a lot of arguing. Okay, let's start off. First ship, Alexander Nevsky. Now, for me, I immediately put up in competitive, but
that's where I think it's go to.
You think, Matt? You pretty much go too.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's just a solid good tier 10 cruiser. It's not really that great at anything, but it can just do everything pretty well.
Except for fight a cap. You can't fight for caps.
No, this is a sniper through and through. This is you sit with the battleships. Like
this is like the
you sit behind the battleship.
You put out, and it'd be like the kiting plank.
Yeah,
it's got. You can switch to HE, but the AP is really nice.
There are quite a few DDs in this game who can Citadel Nevsky. So you got to be careful about that.
Yeah, and I think the only buff that I would
so nice. Range is so nice.
Oh, the range is so nice. I think the only buff I would want to give to it is a mobility buff. Just make it a little bit better at wiggling. That's about it, I think. And that's a soft stat. That's not really a hard stat. Like,
just give it more armor.
I was gonna say hard stat when you can't dodge shells at range. I mean,
yeah. That's why I would rather have it be dodgy because it is quite thin. So.
Yeah.
Well, that was an easy one. We didn't argue at all on that one. Now let's really argue. We have a new cruiser actually for this for the tier maker in general. The Austin. Alister, I'm gonna go with you first because I know Matt and I we love this ship, so we're maybe a little biased. So, where would you put the Austin?
You gotta give me a second here because it's either gonna go in competitive or niche because it has one of the strongest niches in the game of like disintegrating a destroyer in 2 seconds flat. But what else does it have going for it? You know what I mean? Like you have you have serious HE spam as well, so I could put it in competitive. If you're good with it. I'm not good with low range cruisers.
Yep. Matt, what are you thinking?
Okay, if you aren't like let's say you're 60% win rate player, it's gonna be niche because its niche is destroying players off the face of the earth and destroyers. If you are a decent player and you can dodge very well, if you can get a battleship to damage con and then pop a rapid reload, that's when it becomes a competitive ship because then you can also burn things down as well, and then has multi-purpose.
I think just as the ship entirely, the more skill you put in, the better and better it gets. It's just, I think it's pushed out of meta because it is niche enough, but its niche is just so damn good. It goes right into competitive because
Its
even
niche
if you
is the
are
rapid reload.
even if you are a mediocre player, the more you play it, the better it will get, and the more you learn and the more skill you put in, it just becomes competitive because of just how strong it is. And that smoke can save you and prevent you from at least being blacked immediately, twice.
Like, one thing I will say about Austin when I'm playing against it is I hate the thing. Because you can have the worst player in the world come after you, go up, pop rapid reload, and take half your health before you can kill them, even if they're broadside the entire time.
Oh yeah. No,
that
Austin is niche in
so
nature,
much.
but it's so competitive because it's just so good. So good.
And if you're playing with a competent player in your division and you know how to separate your detection from theirs, and let's say that and the enemy destroyer spots you and the destroyer at the same time, and you pop a rapid reload, the destroyer is basically dead. As long as the destroyer can keep it spotted.
Oh, no,
The
I
only
think
thing you can really hope as a destroyer, if you're going straight forward and you see an Austin, is if you get detected, is just say nose in and pray to God. Thanks, skinny thoughts.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, skinny thoughts.
I've done that with Downey before. I'm just like, please, Jesus, just let me live.
Yeah, I think Druid's the
And-
only one
and
that
the
can
AA is
successfully
nice.
hold off. Oh yeah, the
That
AA
is one
nice,
bad thing about it, because you have limited HP, and then like if a CV does come after you, at least you do knock down quite a few planes.
Yeah, and you're small enough you can wiggle out of torpedo bombers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, anything else on Austin?
Torpedoes are nice.
I was gonna say, can you spell
Oddly
something
nice.
up there?
Oddly nice. Yeah, they're like Venezia's, where there's like better than they.
Well, if you don't get a fire on that battleship with a rapid reload, the torpedo certainly will get a flood.
Well,
That's true.
if you can hit them.
That's true. Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's a high risk, high reward ship, but I think it pulled itself out of
Skill-based.
niche just because that niche is so damn good. It's so
Yeah, but it will always be under Smolensk when it comes to tiers. Because
Yeah.
Smolensk is
not
Yeah,
spoiling
well.
anything, anyone. Not spoiling anything.
Oh,
Now
come
we
on,
go.
man.
I am waiting for the day that Smolensk goes to niche. I am waiting for it. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
Nope, not unless some better Smolensk comes in, which we don't want that either. Now let's move on to our only black ship here. I'm gonna give this the map because I think you have this ship, don't you?
Is this Black Zao?
Yep, Black Zao.
Okay, I have played it. Crap, man. Because I can't spoil what I'm gonna put Zao at. It's right in between niche and competitive. I would almost put it competitive because the rapid reload does make it nice, and the guns already do hit hard, and then rapid reload just makes it better. Yeah, it's just a better Zao.
That's where I'd put it. It's just in niche. It still has all the problems of the Zao, but that rapid reload just puts it, like, it gets it in that nice niche. It's like, hey, you're still going to be able to do 40, 50k, even if you get blapped in the first 2 minutes. Like, even if you have a bad game, this at least can still do something. But
Well,
coming
the
from
Zao guns are already good, and then whenever you add a rapid reload to it, it makes it better.
yeah, but
See, why couldn't they just give Black Zao the FAA 4? You know, on top of its skill it's already got. Then it'd be like
And it would
really
be fun.
accurate.
I'd be totally up for that. I thought I was going to come in with fuel smoke actually when I came in.
I was hoping it would too.
Yeah.
If it got the black to cow treatment, it'd be even better than it is.
Okay, so whenever we do put a ship in niche, should we explain why or like what its playstyle is? Because Black Zao, I would not recommend pushing in that thing. It is definitely a kiting ship.
Yeah, you can
In my
mention it. Yeah. No. Like what we're doing is we're talking about the function, the rank of the ship based on its capabilities. And then we're kind of going, hey, let's talk about it. Like, we can talk about this for 20 minutes. God, I remember, I think last year we had a whole 10-minute conversation on one damn ship. Like, it's just how it works.
Goliath?
Which one?
I think it was Goliath. It probably was Goliath. It probably was.
I think it was Goliath.
Yeah, it probably was Goliath. But no, Black Zao, it's a kiting or it's a super DD. Like, you're an ambush super DD. Like, it's just, you have to play that way. And if you can't play that way, you're shut out. Like, it's just, you will have a bad game. It sucks. But at least the Black Zao has a rapid reload to kind of accrue some damage. But as a heavy cruiser player, how have you dealt with them, Alister? How would you rank it?
Played a whole lot of. I haven't played a whole lot of randoms against Black Zao. When I see them, I treat them like every other Zao player I've seen and just knock them out of the game.
Yeah.
I
Have
mean,
you run into any good Black Zao players? There are very, very few.
dude, I haven't run into a Zao player, period, in a long time who could do anything with the ship, let alone Black Zao, being more rare. I mean,
Yeah. That's
what
true.
is there, a whole 3 people on the North American server who can play Zao well? And one of them has Black Zao, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then let alone are they running a Tricked Zao or not? Because of course we got that coming up here soon on that.
I would still say non-tricked Zao is better, but we are going to fight.
Interesting. We're
I
going.
can't even play Zao very well. I can't play Zao. I mean, I can't do it. I run into the exact same problem that other players run into, where you are either useless the entire game because you can't land torps, or you put yourself in a bad position and you die in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
To
it's one of
find
the,
1% area in between is extremely hard to find. And while Matt has found it, I have not.
I have to be in the mood.
Played a lot different. I played a lot differently because people are like, oh, well, torps are good. And yes, like the torps, 100%. If you can land a full thing of torps on a battleship, it's worth sitting there dark. But I'm not going to sit dark the whole game. If I see that my torpedoes are going to miss, you can just use the guns. I mean, I've had games in Zao where I have not hit one torpedo and did 100,000 damage with the guns. The guns are very capable.
That's
Yeah.
so good for you. I've used my guns in Zao too. That's probably one of my biggest problems. And guess what happens when I use my guns in Zao? Oh, look, it's Alister. Let's shoot him.
It's Alister.
Oh yeah.
Everybody thinks last name, second ruler of the waves, really good player. And they're like, oh no, he's not a problem. Don't worry about him.
Nah, definitely. Now let's. Are we good on Zao? Black Zao.
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk about the Buffalo. Buffalo. I think I'm just gonna speak for everyone here. It's in competitive.
I want to fight. I want to fight. I want to.
Okay. It has really good DPM, and it's a very strong ship in the damage department. If it had sonar, meta immediately. It's not always great in all games, I would say. So, like, you sometimes need that support.
I'll let you go first. I will state my case in a minute.
Alister?
Who are you going to go first? Why or me here first? Okay, I'll go with Buffalo. I don't play Buffalo. I played a few games in it now. I have a pretty decent stats in it. I don't play it because it is, you don't like Des Moines because it has a low range and problems? Like, here's Buffalo. We solved all the issues that you have with this ship. We gave it better armor, we gave it range, but you have to spend this much money to get it. That's why I don't play Buffalo, because it's every problem Des Moines has fixed and put in a new package that you can spend $75 for.
Ooh, that's so true.
That is why Buffalo is meta, because Des Moines is competitive.
Thank you.
Des Moines is.
Thank you.
Ooh. Alright.
Okay.
I'm not even I'm 20k off of Matt's average in the ship. I'm averaging like 75,000 damage. Matt is a monstrosity in that thing that you do not want to mess with.
Okay, Matt, convince me to move to meta. Like I'm borderline meta right now. Convince it.
Let's start with the DPM alone. Oh, you're too far for AP. Well, you know what? Let's just start some fires. 12 guns every 8 seconds, and you have a rapid reload too. And if you have the good commander, which is Halsey, holy crap, I don't even want to talk about it. The ability, just as Alister said, it is a Des Moines with all problems solved. You have another 2.5 kilometers of range, and you have the same DPM. So it's just a longer range Des Moines, and that is it. Des Moines would become meta if you gave it that range. It would become that meta ship if you had the same dispersion. Because Buffalo has better dispersion. And then if you also have surface detection and you know how to play it, it just keeps on going higher and higher and higher and higher.
Oh, there's a concealment video that we need to have sometime.
I can actually add something on there, at least from my personal experience. I don't know for sure, but it feels like Buffalo has the arcs of a Baltimore, not Des Moines.
Yep, it has
It
better
does.
arcs.
If a
It
DD
does.
comes out broadside to you, you have a heavier salvo to hit him with than a Des Moines does, and
Okay.
your arcs are more likely to actually land.
Okay, you guys convinced me.
Name one ship. Name one other cruiser that I will not pull a Buffalo out versus. In a 1v1 and we are brawling. I will take on a Hindenburg.
Well, that's
There's
not
no
hard.
ship.
There's a lot of ships that can take on Hindenburg.
Stalingrad, Moskva.
I'm looking at this tier list. I can see all the ships right now. There is nothing that I'd bring out. Maybe I'd bring out Tricked Des Moines trying to fight me, but I would lose. That's it.
Yeah, Des Moines more
The dispersion
situational.
difference is so big. Dispersion
Okay.
difference is so big.
I'll give it to you guys. I'll give it to meta. I really do believe it still needs a one sonar, just so you've got it 1+1, and that would be like a perfect American package right there. But then it goes back to Alister's comments. Like, yeah, it's true. Everything Des Moines fixed with the package of $75.
Mhm.
When will Des Moines be buffed?
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
Oh yeah. Are we good on Des Moines or Buffalo now that meta? You guys
I will
happy with
say,
that?
it is the best gun DPM cruiser in the whole game.
It's the best heavy cruiser in the game.
Ooh.
Heavy cruiser.
Wow,
It
and
probably
that's coming
is.
from someone I thought there was gonna be another pick there, Alister.
There's nothing that competes with the Buffalo for gun heavy cruiser wise. I mean,
Okay,
there's not-
whenever you can do 160k in 4 minutes and end the game with 221,000, you cannot convince me. With pure
Yeah.
guns, there are no such thing as torpedoes whenever I play that thing.
That's true.
It is.
no,
Yeah.
it doesn't. No.
Okay, let's move on to Colbert. I know for me, I'm gonna put it right in niche. Matt, though, I know you love the ship. Where
For me,
did
it's
you put
meta.
it?
For me, it's meta because I can solo with that ship, and you have the ability to kill a DD off rip, which helps it so much. The only thing that it doesn't do well against are bigger, heavier cruisers. Versus battleships, you have so much movement. So it probably is competitive because it does lack one thing, and that is the ability to fight other cruisers.
That's why I put it in niche. Is that in my opinion, its skill ceiling is definitely meta level. You can definitely push it, and it keeps going and going. The problem is that skill floor is so low. It is There is so many times I've seen Colbert's opening. Hey, look, they get spotted by a carrier, nuked by everyone halfway across the field. It's just these things are so easy to hit if you are not doing it right, and that's just the skill floor prevents it from getting out of niche. It's just
If you're good at dodging and you pop a rapid, or not a rapid reload, a
engine
speed
accelerator.
slow, you're going
Yeah.
So-
40 knots.
For my opinion on it, you could put it in competitive, but there's no way it's meta. Because once again, it runs into the problem of Smolensk is just better than it.
Yeah, that's where I was like, the Austin does it better. It's good. I will agree with that. I'll agree with Matt, and I agree with both of you. I'm gonna keep it in niche because it's just some games are gonna be really fire, and some games it's
I would at least put it with Austin.
Yeah, I would put it with Austin, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I still think it's very niche ship. I still the skill floor is so
this
low.
is the other thing. If you don't if the skill is not there, it is going to be niche because there are some games where it's just going to wreak havoc with everybody, and then there's other games let's say you get a 4 heavy cruiser game, you are going to struggle.
Yeah,
Because
that's-
When has there ever been 4 heavy cruiser games?
I don't know. There's
I
been a
have.
bunch of cruisers
I
recently,
have.
but a lot of bot Des Moines really, and those things kill.
Dude, I've seen 4 DD games every time I've played.
Yeah,
Well, then it would even go up even higher because it's literally a DD hunting machine. Whenever they do get
Austin is better than it, and then you have Smolensk
True.
who's also better than it.
good point.
I think there's other ships in competitive that push it out. It's just
Colbert is really good, but it could be anywhere. Being in competitive fit because it could be in meta or even down to playable or needs fixing depending on the player.
and that's the definition of
I
niche.
guarantee it would be playable.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it a niche because
As
that's
a
the
solo
definition of
player,
niche where sometimes
okay.
it's just not gonna work. Sometimes it's really gonna work.
Yeah, if you know how, if you are really, really good at dodging and you are a solo player, I think I had like 85% win rate solo with it. Don't ask me how. It was one of my highest ships ever. But whenever you are a good player and you can operate at that meta level, it's really good as a solo. Then competitive, it's a different story.
I've played against extremely good players. You can't hit them in randoms, but there's only 2 of them that I know of.
Yeah,
and even the one, I learned how to hit him every single time because I played against him enough times. And that's Tuca. And I played Heavy Cruiser. Dude, the first time we saw him in Colbert in randoms was before it got buffed for its speed boost and like its acceleration, and we still couldn't hit him in randoms.
Oh yeah, the thing's a freaking drag racer. It just 0 to 60, nothing. So,
but if you're straight lining, it's playable. If you're straight lining.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep that in niche. I think this bit, like I get you, but I think niche fits it great because some games, skim skills, you gotta work with it. But yeah, you can definitely make it meta if you push yourself in that.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about a ship that we already talked about, Des Moines. Alister, where are you gonna put this?
I would put regular Des Moines in probably niche, maybe playable. It's down pretty far.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you got what, 10 kilometer, almost maybe 11, just under 11 kilometer range, I think.
11 kilometer, yeah.
It's like 10.9 and
yeah, 10.94. That's what it is.
It struggles.
It almost pushes into niche because its niche is if you come in here, I'm going to kill you.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's it.
My problem is that now that we're taking Tricked in version, this is just the straight base version of the ship, just equipment, nothing crazy, just a regular commander. I think it's very high playable. I agree with Alister. It's like barely pushing in niche, but it's high playable just because the meta right now is sniping. And you have to get into its range, and especially if there's a carrier on any team, I'm sorry, you're not getting any damage that game because someone's going to spot you early, you can't fight back, you're dead. Even if you can be straight on tanking and bow tank, it just doesn't hold up enough.
Well, also against randoms, like most of the time, especially if there's a carrier, he'll spot you once in your area and he might keep you spotted, or a DD might keep you spotted, and nobody's going to come over there. You have that cap, but guess what? Your entire team across the map probably is going to die. And if you push out, the battleship sniper in the back of the map is going to hit you really hard.
Yeah, that's why it needs a little bit of a buff. But let's talk about giving it a buff. I don't know, any more on the base, Des Moines? You good?
No.
All right. So now the Tricked version. If you haven't seen these, and like that, we only covered like 1 or 2 on the DD one. But the Tricked version there, we're going to put it with the leg mod. We're going to put it with the commander, camo, everything. We're going to pimp this sucker out with a crap ton of money and or free stuff if you're lucky from Wargaming. Like that, but the Tricked Des Moines. Where are we going with this kid, boys?
So I'm guessing this is Halsey,
or Kincaid. I like Kincaid, but Orlandorf? That's evil. Yeah. That's evil. I guess.
Competitive.
Matt, what do you think? Competitive?
I really think it sits right in between that niche to competitive because whenever you put that legendary equipment on it, you lose so much dispersion and it is so hard to hit. Like whenever you are really trying to hit a precise spot, the shells just go out and it is so hard to play it. So I think it really rides that line. I can see it being put in competitive, but I would not play it.
Okay.
I could agree with that. I could agree. Like, it's just...
you want to put it in high niche, then? Because you can put it at the top of niche.
Yeah,
I don't feel like it's as... I don't feel like it's in the niche because, in my opinion, it can move out of its cap. It can now at least fight a little bit better. Because it does have that range, even at bad range, you can't shoot that, but you're most likely shooting HE, and actually it's pretty decent HE for it, let alone you can bow tank, you have the rapid reload to murder anything that gets in close, and for me, I run Kincaid, so now I have 2 radars, so occasionally you pop a radar early, a DD thinks it can sneak up on you, and it can't. It's just, it adds enough support that I think it pushes it out of that niche category, but I will agree, it's barely in competitive.
For me, it would be competitive if it had radar too, because 7.1 radar is so hard to use consistently at tier 10.
Yeah.
It's just a cap contester, so that 7.1, I always find it works. I don't know, that's me.
That's what I find too. Like, for this Des Moines, you can actually sit a lot farther out, and you can actually defend your cap and still be able to hit people. Simple as that.
But what keeps it out of competitive is the dispersion. I think that is the only thing keeping it out of competitive.
I've never had any problems with the dispersion on that. I've only ever run, like, ever since the Des Moines Legendary mod came out, I've only ever played Des Moines with the leg mod because I gave up on Des Moines up until the leg mod came out because it has such crappy range.
Okay, so then explain this to me. What is the difference between Buffalo and a decked out Des Moines?
Buffalo is just better overall. You have better armor.
Better range
You
too.
have better armor?
You have better range, better armor. You're more like you have that additional gun. Yeah, technically you have rapid reload, but better
power
than that. But the thing is that you have the support that adds that in, puts that into competitive, but you still just don't have what I would say is that full package that the Buffalo brings of having, once again, the 12 guns of HE at a fairly similar rate. So you have the HE to absolutely burn it, but someone gets close to you, you now have the secondaries of the Des Moines and 12 guns. Like you now have a lot more punchy power, which can end those battles early.
You do sacrifice just a little bit of DPM for getting the leg mod as well, which is a disadvantage. So
yeah, I forgot about the DPM.
Version, you lose a little bit of DPM for the leg mod. It's not a Buffalo. Like, once again, if a DD comes out broadside to you and you get one salvo, Buffalo is going to hit it a lot harder because of that extra gun. And against good DD players, you're only ever going to get that one salvo.
Yeah. So I get that it has more alpha, but doesn't it have it does have the same DPM if you think about it, because 6 guns, 3 turrets.
But it's chunkier.
8.
So you might instead of needing 3 salvos, you might only need 2. Yeah, it might have the same DPM overall, but you're going to be able to chunk people in that faster way. So that maybe that second salvo gets that just enough over getting to kill them, whereas the Des Moines going to need that final, just that one last turret, or the 2 last turrets in order to kill something. So
I didn't realize that Des Moines armor was worse than Buffalo. I thought
from my experience, you can eat salvos in Buffalo a lot easier than a Des Moines. I don't know if that's just personal experience, but as well as, once again, Buffalo has the Baltimore arcs as well. Like Des Moines, you might need that one extra salvo, and guess what? Your shells aren't fast enough to catch that DD who's going behind an island, while Buffalo is.
Yeah, Des Moines just doesn't have the arcs. Just like Worcester, anything past 9 kilometers, you're not really hitting in the Worcester. Like, I know if you've got the skill, but in general, most players aren't hitting their shot on a DD at 9 kilometers plus.
9 kilometers is tough. I mean, I think 7 kilometers in the Worcester is kind of rough.
Yeah, it is. So,
yeah,
I think we're good on Des Moines. Shall we move on to G?
Mm-hmm.
Gibraltar.
I have this. Who else has this?
Neither of you? Against it.
Okay.
I think it's playable.
Playable?
I don't know. I played against it.
I'm gonna go. So I say this low meta, high competitive. It's got the same issue as Golden, so the DDs just can't put it. But the problem is that this is you sit and smoke the entire game and you farm, and it is fucking easy to do that. I was accidentally getting 80k plus, which you both know I don't do that. I was just killing in this thing. It's just easy to play. And if you know how to play it and you can sit and smoke and you have that right game, it can't defeat DDs, but I think this is like the best Gouden Leeuw type ship out there right now, where it's just, it can't do with DDs, but it can do with everything else.
It also has a crap ton of guns, right? You have like 3 turrets, 12 guns?
I think it's like 4-2-4 or something. I can't remember. Is it 12? I can't remember now.
It's 3x4.
3x4. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so
you do have 12 guns.
Yeah, but that's the fucking chunk, and the AP is nice, like the HMS AP from like that. So you get plenty of citadels. It is easy to hit like Goliath, but I think that's kind of changed. So,
don't you have like short fuse AP, kind of like the Minnow does too? Or is that not the case? Like on PC, I know it has short fuse AP, so you can still clap destroyers pretty easily with the AP.
It's okay at AP. Right. It's okay at AP closer range, but it's still. I don't know. I view it as low meta, high competitive. Ship needs IFHE.
IFHE, isn't it only AP?
Yeah,
it's only an AP ship. It's only AP.
Am I missing something?
No, it's just got 4 smokes. Like you just sit and smoke and you farm all game, and that can be incredibly nice.
So whenever you get Betty, does it jump to meta, or is it competitive with Betty?
Ooh, good point. Shoot, I was only using Beatty on this.
Because APCS and extra smoke is definitely going to help it.
I didn't have APCS at the time, I know that, but I did have the smoke. That might make it, yeah. Ooh.
With Betty, I bet it is competitive.
Yeah.
APCS.
Ooh. Shoot, now you're making me rethink stuff.
We can put it in niche.
Yeah, I think that makes
He's
more
just
sense.
so solid.
Yeah, it's
Like
some if you have a high DD game, it's kind of gonna be crap. But if you have a high battleship game, this thing farms. Because most people don't have to shoot and smoke anyway, so it's just it could be better. And I think with BD, yeah, that's true. Maybe I should have done a trick Gibraltar. Darn it, forgot about that.
Trick Gibraltar.
Yeah, Trick Gibraltar. Yeah, if you really want to spend a bunch of money. Luckily, I got mine for ease. That was a funny time. Okay, let's talk about a ship that got some buffs. And I'm gonna go right, Matt. I'm sorry. Alister is this is his ship. He's backed it up since even before the buffs. And with that, but base Goliath, where are you putting it?
I think we could probably put it in playable. I would like to put it in needs fixing, but I don't think it needs fixing at this point. I think it's better than Golden Lion.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We had last time we did a tier list.
No, right. Yeah, the Goliath, the buffs just pushed it out of its own tier. It used to only be the Goliath being in the ship tier, but now, no, the Goliath it's a good kiter. And that's what you have to play it as.
I'm waiting, now they add the super heal to the game, the proper super heal. I'm waiting for them to keep the extra repair kit on Goliath and give it the 75% better heal so you have 3 of them.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Awesome? Oh, come on, man. That'd be so much fun, though.
Oh, man.
But Jellicoe heals every like 50 seconds, just healing yourself for 50 or 15,000 HP.
Yeah, no. But Matt, what do you think of the Goliath after the buffs?
After the buffs, I will say, Tricked Goliath is a much different story because I've dumped a whole rapid reload into it before, and it gets away and it's on half health and comes back as full healthy, and you're like, wait a minute.
You're like shit.
Yeah. So Trick Goliath is a lot different, but I would agree. Goliath is definitely it's out of needs fixing for sure. It's a lot better than what it was, but still could use some help.
Yeah. I think I'm still pushing for some help. I'm still pushing for probably a reload buff or something because it does have that reload issue that I at least personally believe in. I know some people will disagree with it, but I have that. But I still would think that it needs to have better AP. At the very least, it needs to have better AP because that AP is anemic.
It should do more damage per shell, but I don't think it should have a reload buff because then you're kind of digging into the Zao area. Where you have smoke, and if you give it like an 11-second reload, now you just basically, it's now just a Zao with smoke for its gun power.
Yep. But now Tricked Goliath, I think I can just speak for everyone here, just goes right into here. Adding Jellicoe, just.
It goes up there.
What was that, Alister? You're kind of foggy.
You think it goes up there?
I think it does.
Man, you're giving it a lot of credit.
I would go niche. It's definitely better, but it's not competitive.
I love the ship. It's a good ship, but it's not that good.
I think it's just so damn tanky. You can kite, you can hold, you can just hunt DDs. Like it just does just about everything. It's just very easy to shoot. But if you put a lot of skill behind that,
a ship with sheer DPM will push you. Like you cannot hold your ground.
Okay. I can agree with niche. I can. Niche is a great category for a lot of ships, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, I will say, everything we put in competitive so far would be able to rip apart a Goliath. With, Austin, obviously, you could wrap a reload, hit and run away. You can't heal that much HP back that the Austin took off you in that Goliath.
True.
I don't care how good your heals are, man.
It's pushed out. Okay.
They will rip you apart. And that's not even including Buffalo in this.
Yeah. No. Okay. I can agree. I can agree with that. Now we've talked about this a few times, so I don't think I need to mention it really at all. Even with the buffs.
I don't think I give it the credit that it needs. I think it needs to go one tier down.
No, Golden isn't that bad. My opinion right now, it just needs an airstrike buff.
Mm-hmm.
And airstrike or secondaries, one or the other. You need to give it something to defend against DDs, or make it really good at make it a DZP of tier 10. Why is the best ship in the line either the tier 7 or the tier 8 premium?
Yeah, tier 7 is the pinnacle of the line.
Yeah. Its guns are good, but that can't save the ship from not having really any niche in the category.
If you get a high battleship game, I mean, you're just going to farm and it's going to be fun. Anything else, it's not fun.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's mostly high DD games these days.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another problem, too.
Yeah.
I got the ship, I put up the record for it on Rage, and then I never got a game like that again because there were never any battleships. And that's pretty much it.
Henri the Fourth.
Matt, I'll give this one over to you.
It's niche. It's niche.
Yeah, it's a king of niche, and it's an ambusher.
Tricked Henry. Okay, Tricked Henry without legendary mod, just the camo and a legendary commander. It is competitive.
Ooh, I don't think Felipe brings it that good, but Felipe definitely helps. Felipe
Really?
definitely helps.
Oh wait, I forgot. I don't really get focused by CV that much. Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't have my name going right behind you.
Okay.
Yeah.
With no CV, with camo and everything, and if you play concealment, I would put it in competitive because it's so much fun.
I could agree with that, but CVs are consistent. I think it depends on the game, and there are some games I love this ship. I wish I would have saved it, but I literally had a game. Go over to A. I cleared out A and destroyed a Montana. Healed up as I went over to C and fucking handled that flank too. It's just you are just going across the damn map.
Well, with you not getting focused by CVs, the way you farm damage and don't get focused, you are the literal meme of, is that a 4-person joke that I'm too rich to understand? Hey, that's what you are, man.
Don't make me spit out my bourbon, man. I was not expecting something fun.
You and Steve, man, you guys farm like that, and I'm like, dude, what is this?
Oh, yeah.
It's so much fun because I've had games where, so I do run concealment, and if you pop a speed boost, I've done this to Yamato, where you can't stealth torp, so you launch one set, then you kind of shoot while you're headed toward it, and then you launch your other set and you get on the backside and you pop a rapid reload. You can pop out so much damage so fast, and then you can relocate so fast. So whenever there isn't a CV, it is the most fun, but because of CV, it is a niche.
Yeah, it just gets shut out from a good CV player. You're just dead off the first part of the map, and you can't do anything. It doesn't have good AA.
Well, whenever a CV claps you for 20k and that's half your health, it really limits what you can do.
Or an FDR for 30.
Yeah, it doesn't make me very happy.
Oh. Anything else on Henri? Yeah,
no.
It's there. Hindenburg base version.
Playable.
Yep,
agree with that.
Would agree.
Yeah, it's just it has its issues, but overall, it's actually I'd say it's better at long range DD killing. So if you hate DDs, it does help that. But you really need to have your aim on this ship, or you're not going to do much damage. And then BBs will just collapse the crap out of you. It's just.
I would like to talk to anybody who shoots HE in this game, and please just switch over to AP and leave it there.
Yes, with Hindenburg, never swap off of AP.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're good on that one. Let's talk about the good version of the Tricked Hindenburg. So we're going leg mod and hipper or sheer. What are we thinking?
Hipper.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely out. Okay, what are we thinking? Competitive. I've seen Part rip me apart in this thing, and I did not expect it.
The only thing that I have one problem with this, and it's the AA.
Yeah,
it goes from the same thing with Henry. It's like the AA, you get clapped off the bat, but that's the only thing that keeps it out of competitive for me. it's like high niche. Because as soon as there isn't a CV, you are going to wreak havoc.
I just see its DD killing potential just pulls it right out of niche. Just like Austin, it can almost, I think it's 3-tap, mostly a DD.
Yeah, I gotta give Hindenburg this. It has more team utility than Henri does in this regard. Like, you're never gonna go like, I'm gonna hunt this DD in the middle of the map with Henri. No. Hindenburg is like, oh, you're 13 kilometers away, let me just snipe you.
I would definitely say Tricked Hindenburg is above Henry for sure.
Yeah.
I'd say it barely fits in competitive. It pushes. It pushes into competitive, I think. Would you agree with that?
Tricked Hindenburg deserves to be in competitive because just like Des Moines, it's just under Buffalo.
Yeah.
You mix Des Moines and Buffalo together. You mix Des Moines and Hindenburg together and you get a Buffalo. Or Tricked versions of them.
It had a baby and it grew up.
Yeah. It grew up all the guy. Alright. Shall we talk about the new guy on the block? That just got nerfed?
Meta? Like, just put it at the top?
Yeah. Pretty much. This thing is the king of light cruisers.
No, I would say Jinan is above Buffalo, though. Jinan is easier to play. Way easier to play than Buffalo.
Well, you got the fuel smoke to stay alive. You got a crap ton of torp, so if a battleship decides to be like, I'm going to mess you up, you're like, no, you're not. Have fun. And also, you do have good enough guns to really do everything, and like they're good. They are.
Yeah.
And so, you kind of have the same thing with Austin, except you have more what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent damage.
And also concealment damage. You can hide better.
Oh yeah.
And more consistently than Austin. Austin only has those 2 smokes, and those are emergency smokes. They aren't fuel smokes, which give you a nice 15 seconds of GTFO. So it's it's just a better Austin in terms of everything. But it's still Yeah. I think we all agree with that one. That one, Jinan's just such a good ship. Let's talk about another new ship. Who has this ship?
Soulfire, I think, and that's it.
I have it.
Man?
Yeah.
Wait, you have it?
No, I'm gonna unlock it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the grind. I'm gonna hate myself for doing this. But
it's playable. Really? Okay,
No.
Well, it's playable for me.
I could see that. But the thing is that I believe it needs a reload buff.
Oh
That's
my
what
gosh!
It desperately needs.
Knock like 3 seconds off that. Knock like at least 3 seconds off that reload.
I'm thinking at least 2, and then now with the reload, it now can, I think, get 4 salvos off or something like that. So it's it can do that's a good bursting damage. But this ship, it needs a reload buff and maybe an AA buff because, dear lord, this thing can get wrecked.
Oh my god!
And its niche is hiding around islands, and I would love for it to join Henri. That's all I'm asking. Is just be a bursty, instead of Henri, you go around the map. The Marseille is, this is my island. I like my island. If you come near it, fuck off. That's what I want the Marseille to be. But it just...
It's screw off, but only for 15 seconds. And then they're like, come join me on my island.
Yeah, but no, it's I wish the Marseille had a better niche. It just doesn't. Everything it does, there is something that anyone can do better.
Yep. I will give you that, Sly. Needs fixing as well, because you can hit a DD hard too, but if you're sitting on an island, God forbid a Shimikaze gets up on an island, it's let me find you, because you're not going to stop that.
No. And I know it has that unique ability, but the problem is that unique ability isn't really applicable. You have to really strive to use that unique ability of holding them, for anyone who doesn't know, it's holding the button down for a considerable amount of time actually increases your accuracy, but that means you ripple fire, which can also cause, if it doesn't fire at the right time, because of camera shake, it causes a dispersion bug, which then now you clearly miss your shot.
Yeah. The recoil.
Yep. Cool. So, no. It's just not fun. Not fun. Let's talk about a good ship.
It's not just a reload thing. It needs something else along with that 2 seconds. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know yet either. That's true, but don't even the grind. The Chervaux is okay. The Brest is mediocre at best, and that's a rough thing to say. It's not as bad as the other grind in here for another ship that probably needs fixing. But Let's talk about two really good ships in a row, everyone. Oh, what? You got one more? A little more?
Is it time to talk about the ship that's going to make Granddad make a Reddit post about us saying that we're idiots?
No, actually, Granddad changed my mind this morning. He found out where I was putting it, and he was like, "Oh no, don't." Nope. And I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do this right here. Right to meta. Minotaur. I know the Jinan feels like it pushes out.
I want to. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not. Gonna
No,
say
go.
Okay.
Say it.
No.
Send it.
Okay, this thing is niche. If you do not have APCS, it is so hard to hit stuff.
Ooh.
Okay, like here's what I'm saying. Betty pushes it into meta, but if you do not have APCS, it is niche. If you have APCS, it is competitive. Change my mind. Go.
I think it's competitive as well.
I'm gonna put it in meta, and the only reason why is the way Granddad put it. Is I thought previously that my main thing was actually the Jinan just pushed it out.
Yeah, Jinan did push it.
Jinan, I felt like it did, but the way he also put it is they have two very distinct targets. The Jinan and Minotaur are not going after the same thing. Where Minotaur, you're going to be that stealthy DD when you're going against battleships and either put up in smoke, where APCS is not necessarily as needed as much as you think it is because you're going to be sitting in smoke so you can hit the battlestar and superstructure, everything like that. So you can snipe really well. Add in, it does have the square dispersion, which allows for that easily on the deck armor. But the Jinan goes after the battleships, while Minotaur goes after the DDs. And with such a high DD meta right now, the Minotaur's maneuverability and everything that it offers, even without BD, is incredibly key and critical to winning the game in the meta right now.
Okay, so here's what I will say, and this is my argument.
Okay.
Out of those three ships, Mino is the hardest to play. Buffalo and Jinan are, I would say, 2 to 3 times easier to play than Mino, at least.
I'll agree with that.
There's Jinan, there's Minotaur, and then there's one ship we still have not added to meta that also kicks it out. You want more gun-focused Minotaur? Oh, grab Smolensk. You want more torp-focused Minotaur? Grab Jinan. Guess what? Both those two ships pushed out Minotaur. Because in a high DD meta, Smolensk is better. Because you can just gun them down easier. And you can also burn down battleships.
I'm sorry, Granddad. They're right. They just go right back to my original thing. It's like Jinan pushed it out. It is so good, but I will say I agree with you. If there's a tricked minnow in here, which maybe we should talk a little bit more, maybe that would.
It's so hard with Mino, but it would push meta if it had more torp range. Yes, that is the only thing keeping out of meta.
Which actually, I know the Nettie's Chinese announcement said that they were looking at another buff to the minnow.
Really?
Sweet. If they do that, that's fine. It'll be meta.
Yeah.
If they do that, like I'm just gonna become a Mino main.
That's one of my biggest issues with it. The Jinan has super long range for torp, and Smolensk has longer range guns that can burn down battleships and hit DDs just as hard, if not harder.
True. I'm sorry, Granddad. I'm sorry. They got me. They got me. It's true. It's been pushed out. I'm gonna prevent it from being niche because this thing can do everything in a game, and the more skill you put into it, it sends it right up. In my opinion.
Yeah, it's long.
I think without APCS, I was trying my butt off, and I was only getting 80k. But with APCS, it starts pushing those 90, 95 a lot easier.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep this in meta. I'm gonna keep this competitive. I'm gonna keep it.
Obviously, a skill level can bring it into meta, just like most other ships.
Maybe we'll only get half a thesis from Granddad.
Yeah, Granddad can still make the ship meta, but a lot of other people are not gonna make it meta.
All right, now that we've talked about the minnow, and Granddad's going to write half a thesis to us, Moskva. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
I would say Moskva is, yes.
Yeah. It's just a good sniper. It does everything, and if you need a radar to defend your battleships, done. You want good HE? Done. You want oddly good secondaries? Done. That's what I never understood. I never understood it. Why is the secondary so good?
All the Russian battle cruisers and Petro have good secondaries for some reason.
Oddly good secondaries, isn't it? Anything to add in there, Matt? It's just meta.
I would say it is better than Stalingrad because it is more versatile. But in competitive, I would say Stalingrad is borderline better than Moskva.
It depends what you need, though. Are you wanting more support
Well,
for your battleships, or are you just wanting more
okay.
damage? Like, that's the whole damage versus support conversation again, right there.
Yeah, I think Moskva is slightly better than Stalingrad for the most part, but we also can talk about Tricked Moskva with the Makarov, which makes it even better.
You know, you guys should have told me you guys wanted more tricked icons. I would have put them in here.
I know we're ruining it for you.
Yeah, I know. I thought I'd planned this out. I like sent you guys all the notes, everything, but no.
You should have just made Tricked everything, and then like we would have just left the other ships.
Unfortunately, that would have been. There's so many ships that are tricked and they don't do much. So, like, that's the
You
biggest
just have to
problem.
make more work for you, Fly.
Yeah, I know, right?
You
Yeah,
have to
just
make more work for editing Fly to put those in later.
yeah. You know, it's only like 400 icons that I made for this dang tier maker season.
Oh.
Hey.
You gotta make 200 more. Look at that. You're welcome.
Okay, on to Napoli, everyone. Let's move on to Napoli here.
No.
No, really? Really?
Playable.
Playable?
It's playable.
Maybe playable. I put it needs fixing personally.
Bob Lynn's gonna write your thesis now.
I think it's playable. It's fun.
Yeah.
Dude, top secondaries don't do shit.
There's so much fun when you do a triple of them with Bob, but Bob's really good at it, so I can concede.
Bob. It's Bob.
It's Bob. It's Bob. All right, but Napoli, yeah, I agree with you guys. Like, I was barely pushing niche, but that's only because I've been able to play with it with Bob, and he is just naturally good at this ship. And the guns are good, but the sap secondaries,
The sap secondaries, they can work, but the auto secondaries are useless.
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of fun in a late game, like if you're on cage or something, to put yourself in the middle of the cap when there's only DDs left and be a no-fly zone.
Yeah,
But that's
right.
pretty much it.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to go with niche. It's like some games it works, but some games, but yeah, it's definitely it doesn't work more than it does work. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll agree with you guys out. Let's talk about another ship. Now this is going to be contentious, I feel, but this is a base Pietro.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
agree with that.
it's
It's
in
base.
between fixing and playable.
Yeah,
Because
it's
playable is pushing it.
it is. It's so hard to suggest going down this line, let alone going for the tier 10. But the Riga is such a rough ship. Why it's so bad, I have no idea. Talon's actually not too bad. I think a lot of people give it
Riga
a
is
bad.
so bad. Talon's good. Riga
Yeah.
is painful.
Yeah, it's Pietro. Just it doesn't have anything going for it really. No support. It does do decent damage, but that's barely it. Like, I'd rather bring Hindenburg every day of the week.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, I hope they can give it a buff instead of giving buffs via leg mods. You know, that's kind of becoming a normal thing these days. Let's talk about the buff that it got via having a no nerf leg mod. Let's get the, you gotta get the Infinity Stones here. No nerf leg mod. The camo that's
Makarov.
specifically and like that, and Makarov. You do that. How far? How far?
Oh, it's hard to put it, man. It's hard to place it because you have to have a DD in a platoon with you to get good games.
It can't defend itself.
Yeah, it
Okay.
can't defend itself.
If you are in competitive, it goes into competitive, but in randoms, it's niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It barely pushes up there. And to put
When I was
literally like
playing-
if you were to pay for it, it's literally like $40 easy if your luck is good. Like, it's expensive to put this thing just in a niche.
Yes. Now,
So-
like I said, you got to play with a solid DD player. To get the stats that I did, I was playing with Dino every game pretty much in his destroyers.
Yeah.
2 gun down destroyer for him.
I still remember I do have a game. Sometime I gotta put it up. 5 DD game. I got 4 kills. 4 of those were all DDs. They all kept on coming after me one at one, and I didn't know how I survived.
I will say, like, the profile of Petro is so nice because it sits so low.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about it that is nice about it. So it's a nice niche, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does farm
it's
damage.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it farms damage. That's all it does.
But if you were able to buff the Petro to playable, maybe you would then move up to competitive then. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Okay,
Petro's definitely a lot easier to play than Colbert or Zao. So
Oh yeah. All right, let's talk about the one ship that I always just attribute to Alister here, Puerto Rico.
Matt also plays a really good Puerto Rico too.
I like to think I do a decent job.
my average
I've been playing a long time.
Buffalo, so I would put it in meta, but it's actually competitive.
Yeah, competitive.
Yeah, it's a shotgun. Sometimes that shotgun works, sometimes it doesn't. Like that's brings in a lot of support. You know, I have seen some amazing plays in it, but it takes a lot of damage.
Hey, Sly, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Where's Elving at in here?
He didn't put it there, bro.
No, Elbing and Delny did not make the list here this year.
Where's Tricked Elbing? Where's Tricked Elbing?
Tricked Elbing.
Dude, Tricked Elving would be a niche so quick.
Oh yeah.
No, that was in the DD tier maker. I'm gonna stick to the sides. Else I know the Republic would be in here too, like, or the Bourgogne would be in here, like.
Bourgogne would be in here.
In my opinion, I think it's a super battlecruiser.
Wow, fair enough.
It kind of is.
I mean, it is. You're not wrong, but I don't consider it like the typical cruiser type playstyle. Elbing is more attributed to that.
I'd put the Bourgogne similar to like the Buffalo.
I would say,
you just do damage.
Well, Bourgogne is just like a Tricked Henry, but like way better Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I really do hope whenever they do the battleship thing, it's competitive. I think it's competitive for randoms. In competitive, it's like
it's not. No, it's niche at best. But we'll get with the spoilers. Crap, spoilers. I didn't mean to. That never happened. All right, perfect. All right. Anything else on the Puerto Rico?
Nah, I think we're good.
It's a really good ship. If you can aim good, it can operate at meta. It can.
Yeah. Auto aim off helps us a lot, but of course it's got just a high enough arc that you really got to make sure you're on with the auto aim off, or you're gonna miss. Like, because it does have just enough high arc, just enough.
Oh yeah.
Now that you actually did a stream on this ship, and we're able to show it off legally.
Sevastopol. Actually, no. I'm gonna say playable. It does have a few things. It's a PC ship in Blitz, and as much as I find the ship,
Marseille needs fixing. I'd put Sevastopol in here too.
I could see that. So Sevastopol. It's a PC ship in Blitz, and I say that because it only has main guns, and auto secondaries suck in this game. Those main guns are actually pretty decent. It's got a crap ton of health. It's got a crap ton of skills to make it all work, and like that. And I think personally, it has just enough AA to really prevent it from being out of needs fixing. I still think it needs a buff. I still think it needs some changes, but I don't think it's as bad as Golden or Marseille or base Petro.
Okay. That's fine.
I would say it is. Man, that's tough. I don't know if you could put it above a base Des Moines or not. I'd rather play a base Des Moines. It would definitely be a lot more fun. It would be a lot more fun.
Yeah, it's still a good ship. Like, it's okay, but it's boring, and it just doesn't. It doesn't do anything.
Seems like it's more painful to play than it is actually fun to play.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're getting it from me, who I played it for like 3 games, and I had. I'll probably be putting up this video eventually, but there's like 2 or 3 games. I did like 100k in it. I was like, crap, this is competitive. Like, when I was joking around competitive and like that, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. But the more and more people started playing it outside of me, everyone was like, dude, you've touched the shitty Sevastopol, right? And I'm like, it's shitty? I need to go revisit. And then all of a sudden I get clobbered in NA. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. So I just had paid actors on EU.
Why? We talked about it after you did your stream on the Rage Only chat, and it's already got the nickname of Sevastopol.
Or Sevastopol.
Yes.
Yeah, Sevastopol. Yeah, Bastard Deployment. Yeah. Yeah, no, I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't.
It's not going to be worth the money, whatever. They could give it away, and it's probably not going to be worth the money.
Oh, are we in another Lenin situation for tier 8?
probably.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's talk about this hot piece of pilot shit.
Yep.
There's the other one that I decided to try to
Been there for how long now? Since release?
Since release. Nope.
Can't nerf it.
Nope. Can't nerf
would say
it.
Jinan and Smolensk are the easiest to play.
Yes,
And then
by far.
follow it.
Brain dead easy. The floor is just way too high for the Smolensk. And the ceiling, dear lord. When you can get 70k average with an AP only version of it, that's just when you kind of go, what the fuck?
AP only?
Yeah, I did it. I did it for like 5 games straight, and I averaged 70k.
Okay, well, here, I will say
I tried to lower my numbers, and they only kept on going up, okay?
I would say
Why?
Jinan is still easier. The skill is just, or the skill ceiling is so much higher because of the torpedoes.
Yeah.
But that does not mean they're not insane.
Yeah, but then again, how many times do you run into tier 10s that just decide to sail straight, and all of a sudden they run into 15-year torpedoes? Actually, fairly often.
Pretty often. Pretty often. I was gonna say what? Okay.
It just happens, and you just kind of go, "Are you really? Really? Okay. That one. Let's talk about something that actually takes skill.
Stalingrad, yep.
I
So-
put it in competitive.
I see you're competitive, and I only push it to meta because I believe that is the great conversation of support versus damage. And the Stalingrad is just damn good at damage. It is just, it does its job, it does it well, and there's nothing else that competes with it, in my opinion, in that way.
I can see that argument because obviously you put Puerto Rico in competitive, and it's better than Puerto Rico for the most part.
Yeah. Now, is it holding meta
only
by
thing
a
I
thread?
don't like
I'll agree. I could agree with that. I could tentatively agree with that.
The only thing I don't like is the ability to spot stuff by yourself. It sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then again, you can hit 9 for 9 on one turret at max range. It's accurate.
If we're gonna talk about like Moskva, for example, you're not going out and spotting stuff for yourself either. You're probably gonna die.
Well,
if you do.
No, but I think it's a little bit more versatile. than
Yes,
Stalingrad.
it is. Absolutely.
That's where the damage versus support. Which one do you want? I prefer Moskva because I like that little bit of support. Whereas Stalingrad, that is pure damage, and it does it. Like, I'd say, like, this is the sniping Buffalo. Buffalo does it within its range, does pretty well. Stalingrad,
Yeah.
it sits with its battleships,
Okay, so,
and
like-
it will remove one turret at a time of the enemy battleship, and that helps.
Okay, so like for me, like I know the play styles are a lot different, but for me, this is where Puerto Rico and Stalingrad flip because I've been playing American cruiser for so long, and I'm just not near as good at the Russian heavy cruiser as I am the USN heavy cruiser.
It does take a little while to get used to it because it's so accurate you actually can miss. I.e. me.
No, I mean it's not even
That's
that.
me.
I don't
That's
think
more
Matt
me.
has that problem.
Yeah, I know
I
you
like
two
the
don't,
DPM.
but I do. Okay.
I like
I
yeah.
do.
I have a hilarious short that I actually have to make from today. I should have hit that shot.
boy.
Should have hit that shot. Why do people watch me? Okay, but let's. Anything else on Stalingrad? Anything else?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, think I can see you're competitive. I really can. Like, I totally see. It's better than Puerto Rico, purely on that one. Base Venezia.
Playable.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunately it's
so.
niche. Its niche is just it can do it, but not truly.
So I picked up Venezia recently. Like I was like, oh, let me try this thing out. We're gonna be doing this tier list soon. And I'm like, I realized why I put this thing down and never played it again. Even coming back, I was like, maybe I'm worse. Maybe I was worse when I played it. No, it's just not my play style. I don't like the ship.
I've
It
been
is
revisiting.
super tough to play. It is so tough to play.
It is. It is.
It does not have any other ship like it that I
It's
know.
not something I enjoy playing.
It's one of those things. It's barely. I'd say it's almost niche, just because you get into a 5DD game. This is the ship that wins you it. There is nothing else in that game. That ship will win you the
Boston.
game.
Awesome.
Okay.
Bring out Tricked Hindenburg.
That's different.
Smolensk,
Hindenburg.
Jinan, Mino.
Okay, never mind. Shut up.
Colbert.
I reserve the right. I reserve the fifth.
Even Napoli is better in a 5DD game than Venezia is.
I would actually. I would take
Napoli before I took Venezia because you're tankier against whatever other ships there are. I mean, I don't like the auto secondaries on Napoli, but I'd still say it's better than Venezia.
But Tricked Venezia. Let's talk about that one. Sap plus with camo with everything. I honestly wouldn't take the ledge mod, but even with legendary mod, it goes right in between that niche.
Yeah,
I would say it's niche. It's niche.
So I put it in niche because I've actually been playing with the leg mod recently, and as much as it kills your concealment, which I know, Matt, I know that basically it's a no-go for you. I want that. I completely agree with you. It's definitely this is the point where I wish we could actually buy two of the same ship, because Venezia with the leg mod is a completely different ship. It now turns into a goddamn minnow at dodging shells. At anything longer than 9 kilometers, you can dodge battleship shells. So now you don't have to worry about running into a battleship. You can just dodge.
Hey,
it's oddly quick. Yeah.
What do you put on it in the second slot when you do that?
So I prefer acceleration.
Okay.
Because I think we found 9.12 to 8.47. So it's not that big of a difference between the turn times. Kind of like that. Where I'd rather have propulsion so I could play with that and then, kind of do a duck and turn, slow down really quick. Kind of like that, have that propulsion really help you. But no, I've dodged shells at 9-10 kilometers, and the Venezia can't do that. But now that it can, you can hunt DDs. Obviously, they can run because they can see you early and everything. But at the same time, you now have the 15-gun salute right to battleships' fronts, and they can't hit you as well. Now, of course, a good player will still hit you, but I think that puts it into a niche. It does something different, and I think it's been underlooked.
Yeah.
I don't think it's amazing. But at top it goes competitive. At top it goes competitive. It doesn't go meta.
One thing I will say about every single ship that I see in niche, if you play it to its strengths, it can be good, but you have to play it perfect to where either a ship isn't looking at you and you push whenever they don't see you. There has to be something else besides just playing the ship, if that makes sense. There's a certain way to make it good.
Oh yeah, and having the ability to 13-second a DD. You don't really have that in the Hindenburg. You don't really have that in... Yeah, you can do it in the Austin, but the Austin's one thing. The Austin has its own niche right there. But no, it's 13-second a DD, and then let alone you get close enough to battleships, those torpedoes are not even close enough, just in general vicinity, torpedoes are good. You can smoke up. And especially when you have Luigi, that sap is doing full salvos on bows, and that thing can murder. So I'm even tempted on putting 5,000 on my main account in order to make a trick Venezia completely with Luigi and everything. But that's I wouldn't put it in meta. It doesn't go full meta unless it's a 5DD game. That's about it. Which you're already even a 5DD game, you're still spotted all the time, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have that good of concealment even with a concealment build.
Yeah,
at least in my opinion.
Worcester.
I don't know what you think. You guys want to go Worcester?
This is all you, buddy.
Competitive. Tricked.
What? Ooh.
We talked about Tricked Worcester. Why is it not on here?
We already talked about this, Sly. It is competitive.
Oops.
It is competitive.
I would just say meta because it's the only ship at this tier with this much support. It's just the king of support. I wouldn't even say base. I think the base version and trick version are both in meta. It just brings so much capability to your team. You can't knock it. I know those arcs suck, but you can hide behind islands.
Sly, answer this question. If Worcester goes then where does Tricked Worcester go? Because it does not go above Buffalo, Jinan, or Smolensk.
No, I that's why I didn't make a Trick Worcester. I didn't think that it made it better. I think it just gives it comfy skills. It makes it slightly nicer. Because also I can't hit shit at range anyways, so giving it range doesn't help me.
When we consider Trick Worcester, what do we consider for Trick Des Moines? You get a commander, you get the camo, and you get the leg mod. So you get the freaking Kincaid with Trick Worcester.
Yep.
No, Halsey.
No, No.
Kincaid's not
Oh,
needed.
wait a minute. No,
Kincaid's
stop
not
it.
needed. Kincaid's not needed.
Give me,
Hold up.
give
Wait
me
a
the
minute.
extra radar. I want the extra radar.
No.
Radar 2 is nice.
Now let's stop for a second and talk about this. So you run Halsey on your Worcester and you run Kincaid on your Des Moines.
No, I actually run Miller on my Worcester for the better AA. I run Halsey on my Cleveland, and I run Kincaid on my Des Moines. Because I'd never used all of the radars on Worcester. If Kincaid had the same skill as Swarovski, then yes, I would absolutely put it on Worcester. I think yes,
Yeah.
like that's a dame for sure. You do that, but because he only gives one, like
Kincaid has 750,000 XP on my Worcester, and it just sits in my lobby. Like, I don't even play Worcester anymore.
And what's
Yeah,
the fun in that?
I don't even play Worcester well, and I have Kincaid on him.
Yeah, but I don't think that needs another radar. When you have such a long reload, you're never using 3. At least in my opinion.
It's more than just the extra radar because it makes your AA so much nicer. Like 35
Miller does
seconds
it
on a
just
PSA
as well.
3.
Yeah,
Miller-
Miller has that.
Miller
Or
just
is that
has that.
commander,
Yeah,
I guess?
Miller has that. That's why Miller is literally just the cheapest like epic commander for
Okay, hold
Worcester.
on. So we all do agree APCS on Worcester, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Kincaid doesn't matter at on the 11th skill. Because Kincaid's IFHE plus. And I'd rather have
I'd still run him for the extra support skills.
yeah.
That's just me, though.
Yeah.
Like, when you
No.
talk about Worcester being the ultimate support, I want to be the ultimate support. And when I play Des Moines, I'm not looking for an extra radar. I'm looking for an extra bit of damage.
Yes.
Whether it's
See,
Golden
I've
Dwarf
actually
or Halsey.
I'm sorry, I've had those games in the Des Moines where that extra radar just shocked the little crap out of the DD. He was like, oh shit, he's got another one. It's just kind of funny. It is. It's just like Gorchov on Nevsky. It's kind of funny.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'm going to argue this forever, but I can see Tricked Worcester because I do not see that shit being above Buffalo, Jinan, Moskva, Smolensk, or Stalingrad. I just don't see it.
But do you
I
see
see
it
it's
better
in there,
than
right?
Nevsky, Austin, Tricked Des Moines, Tricked Hindenburg, Minnow, and Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Then the base version is meta. I could agree. You know, if we had a tricked version, maybe I could add it in post or something like that. You know, I'll do it at the end or something like that. But yeah, okay, Worcester competitive, tricked Worcester meta, but I think still Worcester it's the only one that brings all of those skills: great AA, great support, decent guns, and like that, and insanely oddly good armor. It's a scary package. It goes in meta for me.
Okay. You know,
Name another ship that brings everything.
we all made our piece.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, 11.8 kilometer range whenever you don't have torps is kind of rough. But like, as soon as you get that camo and then you get that range and you're pushing almost 13 kilometer range, like,
The problem is, for me, I can't hit that.
No, you're just
I'm even have a tough time. I'm gonna have a tough time shading battleships. Oh, let's go to a new ship. Anyone?
Yodo.
Yodo. What are you guys thinking?
How would you place this thing? Because I have no idea.
Matt, have you played it?
Yes, I have. I don't
mean,
know. It's
Like
it's super fun some games because the HE, but then other games it's like,
I
yeah.
was gonna say it would go with niche or competitive for me, in my opinion, because you do have long range.
Okay,
Long
but
range
it
torps
kind
too.
of suffers from the same thing that Black Zao suffers from.
So niche is a good spot for it.
Yeah, I think the 360-degree turrets, it feels a great niche for that. If you want to hold a flank and just kind of go in and out of concealment, launch your torps, and then fire your guns and continually get fires. That also, if you get fire, some games you're gonna get that RNGesus doesn't but bless you with 20 fires in a game. Yodo can be kind of rough, but else it's pretty good.
So dang big. It feels so dang big.
That's why I'm putting a Daredevil Plus commander on it. I'm putting something good on it because it needs it. It needs Daredevil Plus.
I don't have Yodo yet, but I do have Takahashi, and Takahashi is rough because you have crap range. You get like almost a kilometer of extra range with Yodo, and it's like, oh my god, this is horrible. I'm waiting for Yodo to come out.
Yeah, I thought Takahashi was like decent for tier 9.
It's
I
not
thought it
bad.
was be something. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just
not good.
Yeah, it's like Yeah,
You play against tier 10 ships, and you're like, I can't hit these things in this range, so I have to go out like a Des Moines and kill myself.
at least the Shimamoto is a better Mogami, so I'm ready for that. Yeah, Shimamoto, right? Shimamoto.
We use
Yeah,
Shimanto. That's it. Not
Shimamoto.
Shimamoto.
I can't pronounce anything correct anyway, so it doesn't matter these days. But yeah, no.
You just throw a random name out there for any ship and just say, I just can't pronounce it. It's fine.
Sometimes. Let's talk about my love. I hate to say this. Yoshino.
This niche.
It's
starting to be playable in niche. It is so low. It needs help. It's so much fun.
Hold on, wait a minute. Before we do this, before you guys decide to put it in niche, it is under Zao, Black Zao, and Tricked Zao, in my opinion.
Good point.
And if you guys are going to put Black Zao in niche, or you guys are going to put Black Zao and Tricked Zao.
Alister's got a point. Alister's got a point. It's unplayable.
Yoshino should be unplayable.
It's unplayable.
I actually was riding the line and I wanted to know what you guys thought because I was like, I love it. It is so good. Its AP is fantastic. Its HE is fantastic. It's a great ambusher, but god damn, there's some games. And most have to pick games in that way.
It's so dang big.
Exactly. You have the exact same armor as a Zao, and you are massive. Battleships love seeing you.
Yoshino, like, I've never hit any other ship. I've never hit any other cruiser as hard as I've hit Yoshino with a battleship. Like, it's so easy to aim at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I love it. Yoshino is love, but no.
Like, out of all the battle cruisers in here, I would even put Napoli higher than it. But Napoli doesn't even help. No, but like, dude,
I would take Hindenburg. I would take Hindenburg over it.
I wouldn't.
I would take Des Moines over it.
Yeah, Yoshino is the fat kid that the battle took like the bully because it's so big you can just throw it around. Dude, it is, man.
I hate it because it's true.
It is, man. It's such a big ship. When was the last time you saw a Yoshino in your game? I haven't seen one in over a year, dude, because it's
I played it like 3 times recently. Yeah.
You played it. That was it.
I played it, and each time they always die in the first 2 minutes. It's like they're trying to play Shimakaze, but they can't.
I wish it was good.
No,
I love it. I think it needs rapid reload too and precise aim too.
Yeah, but you also do stuff. No, I did actually argue for that a while ago.
Oh my gosh. Rapid reload 2 and precise aim 2? What are we trying to do? Make this thing meta?
Roma.
Okay.
Roma.
Just add a torp reload. I don't care.
You have to be able to type with this ship as well, because if you don't, let's say you get stuck nose in against the destroyer, your torp angles are not good enough to defend yourself against the destroyer on the front. So that's another weakness that you have. Send with Zao, but Zao's a little bit more maneuverable and can get away a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yoshino even has more issues with that.
Yoshino is, like, if you start thinking about buffs, like, it already has, like, insane range. What is it, like 14 kilometers?
Oh, yeah. No, it's got everything to be good. It just needs... It's not need fixing yet. It doesn't need fixing. It's still workable.
It needs reload.
I can see that. I don't know. It needs something.
Yoshino's so bad, man. It's terrible.
But now let's talk about base Zao.
I would put it in niche. I would take it above everything else because I have it and I love it. I suffer from the same thing as Sly does, but I still think I would take Zao over a normal Des Moines.
My biggest problem is it's so high DD games can kill it, even though it can do really good with the guns. I can say that, but it's sluggish, it's a little bit rough, and the tricked version I think kicks it out of niche. In my opinion,
I think the tricked version belongs in whatever category Zao is, just one higher.
Yeah, so I think it's this.
If you're gonna put Zao in niche, put tricked Zao in competitive.
I could agree with that because I think base Zao and tricked Zao go to the same place, but that's because I love my concealment.
Yeah,
and I love
better with concealment.
Yeah. And tricked Zao is the best version of it. It's just got so much concealment at that point. It's a DD.
Wait, hold on. What is the tricked Zao? I thought tricked Zao was just steering.
No, tricked Zao has the leg mod, which has concealment.
The leg mod gives concealment on top of concealment. You can stack concealment.
Yeah, you can stack camo, leg mod, and concealment mod.
Hold on. All so what is it? What is it? Why don't you do that and put all your consumables on?
It's like 6. Yeah, it's super low.
It's 6.
Yeah,
It's
we're
not quite
talking.
that good.
Okay,
I know it's 7 something.
You're beating some DDs, like a good amount of them.
Like, yeah, I will say you're around a DD level, like the heavy DD level of.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what are you talking about? Trick Zao is Trick Zao. I would definitely. I think it fits in niche just because of the whole nature of the Zao in general. But it just makes it so much. It's so much niche. You know, so much nicer.
I'm actually
7.14 with everything. Actually, yeah. Sorry.
7.14.
Yeah, 7.14.
That is nuts.
And that's what. And Black Zao with with concealment gets 7.8 ish. So I run Black Zao as Speed Zao, but that's because I run it more as a speedy mother.
Run and gun kind of thing.
Yeah, I prefer that type of style with the Black Zao, but I think it does it really well because no one's expecting the Zao all of a sudden to pull 45 knots. It's just like, you're just like.
Well, let's also keep in mind that Cole, like, you're not going to run Tricked Zao without improved Cole as well. So 6.92 or 6.93 kilometer protection range.
Yeah, so that thing is really getting it. So that's why I was like, I think Zao is playable just because of the CV meta right now, and the DD high DD meta means that you're just a lackluster Venezia at killing DDs, and then on top of it, you're a lackluster like name of competitive ship. It's just they do it better than you. Whereas Tricked Zao, it's like, okay, now you're talking about some serious concealment now.
Yeah. The one thing I do like about Zao in general is the HE alpha. Because people don't normally talk about that very much. And like you can slap a destroyer for 8k if you get full salvos. So I'm hitting on battleship superstructure 5 to 6k a salvo, which is still really good.
And certain fires.
What does Zao reload? Like 8 seconds, 10 seconds?
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Just under that, basically, because usually you run crew rations or whatever it is.
The thing for me that Zao picks it, like, it really does help prevent it from being needs fixing, that AP. That AP is oddly good against DDs.
Okay, hold on. Why do you switch? I never switch because the HE and AP are basically the same.
But the AP full pens DDs at all ranges.
I've had 0 pins and it cost me games, so I just keep HE now.
Oh, okay. For me, at least. For me, when you put all AP on a DD, you can almost two-shot a DD. And it is hilarious because they aren't expecting it. So I see it. Like, I totally see the whole HE, especially if you have Togo or you have IFHE plus on it, where, like, the HE definitely, then it's all HE at that point. But the AP, if you do not have either of those, it's AP, HE, depending on the situation, and AP at close range, ever past the Miyoko. You want to be using AP actually more at close ranges because it is very consistent at what it does. Very consistent. Almost like the Conqueror, like where the AP is just like really oddly good, but only at close ranges. Almost. Not as good as St. Vincent, but St. Vincent's a whole other video.
St. Vincent is its own beast.
Yeah. But that's a whole nother video. So, Tricked Zao, so you're saying competitive there, Matt?
Almost.
Okay, so it's pretty much 6 in niche. Pretty much.
You see, well, here's what I'm thinking. Like, without CV, would I put it in competitive? And I'm still kind of thinking about it because of all the other ships we have in there. It kind of like, I don't know. It starts making me think, I don't know.
Without CV, I will yell meta. Yeah. I will yell meta. The Tricked Zao is the most powerful ship in the game, just firepower wise. It's the reason why I get shut out so hard.
Jinan is still more powerful.
It's a lot easier too. I'll agree with that one. I'll agree with that one.
I would put Tricked Zao into high competitive.
Without CV.
I wouldn't. Without CV.
With CV, it stays in that niche to playable.
Yeah. Because you're banking on not getting a CV who's going to see you and say, okay, we're just going to focus this guy until he dies.
Yeah.
Which is typically what happens. Is as soon as they see Zao, it's like, okay, let's just kill that thing because it's a ship we don't see very often. Let's murder it.
And also, you don't want that on a flank. You do not want that. That gets into a turtle position. It just spins. And it's torpedoes, it's guns, everything. It murders your team. It's got the most firepower out of any cruiser, in my opinion. but it has to have that time to use it. The situation.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're pushing 6.92 is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that's why I put it in niche. But I can see it depending on the situation, competitive, almost meta at certain times, because I've been in Battleship games and done 120, 140 easy, because you just stay hidden and hey, I got an island here.
But that's when you
shoot
do hit
over
all of your forts and you're just having like the best game of your life.
Oh yeah.
So
It's the best.
20 minutes later.
Okay, everyone, we actually got massively sidetracked. We got way off course on that one from the Zao, but this is our tier maker for the tier 10 cruisers here. Let us know in your comments or in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on this. Where would you put yours? Where wouldn't they? The link, of course, will be in the description there right for you, so you can do your own tier maker and compare where you would put which cruisers and what. Yeah, we're totally going to go over and do a tangential conversation right now, because that was phenomenal and we need to do that right now. But hopefully y'all enjoy that, and actually accidental extra tier maker. We're just gonna do it. So it's good for everyone watching. So it's good for the players. Thank you, Matt and Alister, for joining me for the tier 10 cruisers, and we're gonna go do another one. All right. We're up for that.
Sounds good.
See you guys.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
See you, everyone. Have a good one. Peace.